and welcome to another talks of disruptive talks on education. And I'm your host for the evening, Anupma Mahajan. The Social Ripple is an initiative towards sustainable social development. With an increase in industrialization and change in standard of living of people, there are various problems faced by people in the world which are not limited to economic and environmental factors, but they are socially challenged. Hence, the world needs solutions to many of these problems, and we have with us a very special guest, Dr. Lopamudra Priyadarshini, who's on our mission towards sustainable social development. Welcome to the show, ma'am. Welcome. Dr. Lopamudra is a certified corporate director, senior management professional, having over 25 years of experience across the globe in CSR, social development, ESG, corporate affairs, sustainability, corporate governance, corporate communication, corporate strategy, business strategy for both international and national firms for JVs, mergers and acquisitions, decision making, business strategy, and HRM. She presently holds the leadership role with Aditya Birla Group, General Manager CSR, ESG, Sustainability, Community Relations, Corporate Affairs, External Stakeholder Management, R&R Land, and Communication with Hindalco Industries Limited, Raigad, Orissa. Pioneered CSR projects for 360 development of society affecting over 3 lakh beneficiaries. Wow. Some of the projects she's really done well is Udan, the women welfare and empowerment for their encouragement in the fields of sports and education, Jeevan Utsav, smart living and interaction center with focus on health and social well-being of elders, Project Go Green, protecting the environment through NGO Clean and Green Association, Swachh Dhara implemented agencies like Sulabh Foundation in support of constructing toilets, initiated and executed Tennis for Toilet initiative by the group of embassies to raise funds for making toilet through Sulabh Foundation. Kilkari, empowering and steering youth initiatives to 30 plus mentorship programs. Wow, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show with us, ma'am. Over to you.
So much, Anupama ji, and I actually, sorry, somehow my video was. So, very good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing good and having a good weekend. I call Sundays as stress busters, an opportunity to introspect everything in life, good or bad. It is also an opportunity to rejuvenate, realign the purpose of the week ahead. I hope and look forward to be sharing my thoughts and perspectives on this Sunday evening, and leave some food for thought. Grateful to this wonderful forum of detox, disruptive talks on literacy and education that gives an opportunity to be sharing our thought as a change maker and leader. The D-Talk is a forum for leaders to share their visions, successes, and learnings in the area of literacy and education. I'm greatly moved by the vision of 1 million literate. Education and literacy are the key indicators of a society that plays a central role in enhancing overall socio-economic development of a country as a whole. Sustainable Developmental Goal SDG 4 is the educational goal. It aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting a lifelong learning opportunity to all. I would like to start the session by presenting SDG 4 in a nutshell, ensuring lifelong learning opportunities for all from early childhood to adult education. Then ensuring quality, ensuring inclusion, equality, equity, and gender equality on top of it. Ensuring effective learning and the acquisition of relevant knowledge, skills, and competencies. Ensuring the relevance of learning in terms of vocational and technical skills for decent work as well as for global citizenship in a plural and interconnected world. So, SDG 4 sets specific targets to address these challenges and provides a comprehensive framework to achieve inclusive and equitable quality education for all. I think beyond enrollment rates, SDG 4 puts a welcomed emphasis on quality education and learning outcomes. The targets cover lifelong education from early childhood development to universities and vocational trainings. The National Education Policy of India thus has done the changes in recent year. Special attention is also given to eliminate gender disparity and ensuring equal access to education for vulnerable children. The 2030 Sustainable Developmental Agenda is intended to leave no one behind. Many people see it as an all encompassing global and interdependent concept. So, high quality education will contribute to the development of more stable and long lasting communities by broadening access to opportunities and fostering greater tolerance within society. Education reforms guaranteeing access to quality primary education rank highly among the Millennium Developmental Goals. Thus, achieving inclusive and quality education for all reaffirms the belief that the education is one of the most powerful and proven vehicle for sustainable development. This goal ensures that all girls and boys compete free primary and secondary schooling by 2030. It also aims to provide equal access to affordable vocational training and to eliminate a gender and wealth disparity with the aim to achieve universal access to a quality higher education. Role of law in increasing access to quality education for all quality education is fundamental to sustainable development. Education is one of the most powerful tools by which people can lift themselves out of poverty and fully participate in their community, in particular, educating girls as proven to be one of the most impactful ways of breaking the cycle of poverty. Because if a girl is educated, if a woman is educated, the entire family is, educated. Girls with the education can better access the labor market and get jobs with higher wages. Better educated women can make informed choices about matrimony, maternity, and the nutrition, health of their children, their own health. So, education can also help women to take on leadership roles in public life, contributing to the decisions that will affect their lives and their communities. And it is very, very important and is proven in the last, 2 or 3 decades. The critical need everywhere in the world is for education to prepare students to lead successful, fulfilling lives. This requires a broad approach to education that reaches all children where they are and fosters the development of the unique strengths and potentials of each individual child. School culture need to promote entrepreneurship in today's world, global awareness and the humanistic outlook that includes appreciation of diverse background and viewpoints. It's very, very important in today's world. As world is coming very close, we must understand that today's children going and doing education must be aware of this diverse background of people coming from various places. In today's world, this means providing them with relevant educational experience that nurture their passion, problem solving abilities, and higher level thinking skills, including critical thinking and creativity. I think the best solution is to involve teachers, students, schools, and whole community. Education is very, very close to my heart. The reason being that I have been I have traveled across the world, and from where I started my life and my career was a very small rural part of India, where I got very basic education, and I reached here and I achieved what I have achieved in my life. And I start looking at things in a way that if we promote education. Many such million children that are in rural part of India can go up and go beyond their limits, but we all have to make Indian children access to education. That is also very important when we talk about literacy and education. And these are two different things, education and literacy. And with this, I would like to again conclude my a few lines that I wanted to share with all of you by saying, let us all move towards making an equitable society, making a society that is more accessible to education for all. And we really have to do it from spirit. And wherever and whenever we see a child is not going to school or not able to go to a school, let us join hands and let us work towards it. That's all from me, Anupama. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was so amazing to listen to your thoughts. We have a couple of questions. Like, we'd like to first of all know that what has been your inspiration behind the work in the field of education, especially in your Raigad project?
Yes, my inspiration is, Anupamaji is my birthplace, because this is my birthplace as well. So I got an opportunity to come back to this place. It was by God's
Wow.
grace. Also, I always say that what you aspire to, the cosmos conspire to give you that. So I have always, when I got an opportunity, my entire education is sponsored by various sponsors, government agencies, and coming from a very rural background, and born and brought up in Rayagada, doing my education in Odia or Odisha and Odia medium, and I got an opportunity because I showed that interest. Maybe hundred of women or hundred of children are showing that interest to study, but they don't get that opportunity. I was very lucky enough to get that opportunity to do my studies. I did well. I work hard. I did well, and I kept on. I had that hunger to learn, and that hunger to learning and to doing things had brought me here. So when the first thing I always promised myself, when the first time I was going to UK to do my higher studies, I said, God, God has given me that opportunity to do higher studies, and if I ever come back, and if I ever come back and get an opportunity to serve, I would go back to my birthplace and I promote education. Because of education today here I am, and because of somebody has given me that opportunity to study further or to go in a higher level, and I will provide, if when it is my chance, I will also help in my small way, whatever way it's possible that I could promote education in this rural bits of Odisha.
Amazing. Wow. That, how many people think that way? And it's really, really very, very inspiring. Can all the CSR come together for a year and dedicate towards the colossal problem of illiteracy? Do you think it'll be helping in a visible change?
Anupamaji, I totally believe that, if we all come together, we can really make change, because we all are working in silos in our own places. But
True.
if we join hand together, or even if two or three people whose core focus area is education, if they come together, then we can really create a visible change on ground. Because see, there are two kind of change. One, somebody is sitting in the offices and corporate office and the AC offices thinking about it. One is you getting down to the grassroots level, and you actually see what you are thinking, actually will it fit in, does it fit in?
Absolutely.
We talk about digital education, we talk about big things, but does it fit in the places, rural tribal belts where there is networks are not available? See, I was a bit delayed to this session because I was traveling and there was no network in that area. I could not so when there is no network, how do we connect digitally? How the education can be digital? So when if somebody is saying that this is my geographical area, all those entities coming together working in the same geographical area can create a great change in any kind of development, for that matter, in, barring education, or not only education, every field.
Very rightly put, ma'am. So digital divide has been one of the most important factor in widening the learning loss also. That is
Yeah.
how I think most of the CSR have been able to achieve what they are aiming for. And we really wish that this digital divide will help us to pursue our goals further also. What challenges did you face in your mission, especially during the time of COVID?
Yeah, COVID was a very challenging time, but by God's grace, it had kept our morals high and our resilience towards what we believe in was there. Very sadly, that for the 2.5 years, 3 years, children were there was loss in learning, loss had happened. But what we did at that point of time, obviously not at the peak time, but little after the first and before the second, and little after the second and before the third, and just completion of third, we started doing remedial education in the villages. Even the village youth, those who are educated, have done plus two, 10th even, could gather the children of very young age, class 1, age 3, 4, 5, 6, till 8, they could gather, and we were supporting them so that they can just not lose touch with that, with that sense of going to school, looking at the book, writing something. So by God's grace, we could manage it whenever it was possible for 4 or 5. And there are some dedicated resources, community resource persons were there from the villages, were very dedicated. Till date, we are running remedial education classes in the remotest of villages of tribal belt of Odisha, and this helped us a lot. And obviously the community help, with the community support, government support, we could also do it. And yeah, there was a huge loss in learning, of their children. It will take some time bridge that gap, and I think, starting from urban to the rural, everybody is trying to bridge that learning gap, that had happened in the COVID times.
Yeah. Yeah. What are the main bottlenecks in the way of reliable access to quality education resources, and how can we overcome the same?
See, real bottlenecks are, India is a huge country. The majority of schools are in a remotest areas and run by the government. Now, even you go to UP, you go to Haryana, the areas that I have worked in education, and you come to Odisha, the challenge is only one.
Yeah.
That is that infrastructure, availability of resources that uh, you know uh, that is required for education. We do not have resources. Even if the resources are there, they are not motivated enough, they are not passionate enough to actually doing their job, what they are doing. Infrastructure is a huge challenge in UP, Haryana. You will say that class 1 to class 8 will have 2 classrooms. In one classroom, class 1 to class 4 will sit, and other classroom, class 5 to class 8 will sit. So, can you imagine, somebody is learning ABCD and somebody has to learn, history? How can that be possible? So these are challenges that is there. Odisha government has done very good work in the recent past with
True.
uplifting all the high schools under their 5T high school transformational program, and where they have brought in infrastructure. 5T is one of the initiative where the government of Odisha is monitoring, but still a long way to go in terms of pre-primary education, primary education, and middle education in most of the part of India. So we've we partner with the government of Odisha in creating infrastructures while transforming the high schools of Odisha. Thus, corporate must come and go ahead, ahead, come in the front to work more on infrastructure and providing soft skills, so soft aspect of it in terms of resources, in terms of uh, you know um, because government can provide all kind of hard skills like infrastructure, science labs, libraries, but how do you run it? That is very important. And I think we are still a long way back, but we are very back, and we have a long way to go in terms of education in India, unfortunately. Because I don't know. I still see it's 50 years behind Europe that we are there, the primary education.
True.
And the pedagogical style has to change. It's not that infrastructure. The pedagogical style is also a very big bottlenecking in our society, and that does, I think, lot of those effects are there in our community and society because of this education pedagogical system.
Very true, ma'am. Um, one more question I would ask you was that um, how did the scenario change from traditional to online fundraising for these kind of projects?
See, today's world, most of the things are online. When we talk to an implementing agency, and but the conversation is all online. For the past 3 years, we are doing online only. And I understand, the face-to-face conversation has its own impact than the digital conversations. But I think the today's world and the upcoming time is prepared for this online conversation and closing down. More of a 360-degree view if we can give of our work to our partners where we are trying to get a fund, maybe a digital walkthrough on what we are doing with GPS tagging, pedestrian maps where our works are based out of, and what exactly that we are doing, the impact that we are creating through videos, through 360-degree walk of our of live walk of our work, could create a greater impact to the funders, and they can be more close to the idea that we wanted to tell them, and we wanted to
Sure, ma'am.
pursue them with.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. That's really wonderful to hear your views. Here, we would also like to play a small video on detox
Right.
for all our viewers. So, Mr. One second, just wait to hit the one. Yeah. Can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yes, Anupama ji, I can see your screen.
Okay.
Anupama ji, I think I can see your folders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, I think there is some glitch there. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being with us on the show today. Thank you, audience. And we look forward to more of such sessions and more eye openers from leaders who are doing such great work like you. Thank you, everybody. This is Anupama, your host for the evening, signing off. Thank you.